Good morning, greetings, friends, and welcome to The Bright Side, your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of the vast world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. I'm your host, Pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado. I use nutritional supplements where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and sometimes deadly medical procedures. If you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to your health and vitality and well-being, and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin, you have come to the right place. As you listen to The Bright Side every day, you are more and more in control of your body, you are more and more knowledgeable, and you know you can overcome any health issue. That is why we are here every day on The Bright Side, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 31 years of practicing pharmacy, I have seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes, hypertension, obesity, skin diseases like psoriasis, eczema, rosacea, acne, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds. Recoveries that by the standards of modern medicine can only be called a miracle. But what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedure. Because the human biological system is a healing system, it's a regenerating system, it is designed divinely to heal and renew itself on a moment-to-moment basis. And while some folks may call that healing, renewing, regenerating system a miracle, it really is just the way the body works. If you have questions about health, nutrition, prescription drugs, if you want to wean yourself off your meds and get on a good nutritional supplement program, we are here for you. We welcome your phone calls on The Bright Side at 844-236-6010. That's 844-236-6010. If you have questions about the longevity products, longevity business, formulations, ingredients, something you may have heard about or read about, 844-236-6010 is our number on The Bright Side. And if you have a success story you'd like to share, or if you just want to contribute to the conversation, 844-236-6010 is our number on The Bright Side. If you want to purchase any of the longevity products you hear advertised or recommended on the program, please head to my websites, brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. You can purchase all your favorite longevity products off our websites, brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. We've got blog posts, news stories, videos, as well as the longevity products. You can also purchase longevity products by calling 866-735-2470. That's 866-735-2470. You can also sign up to join the Brightside Ben team for a one-time $25 fee. You can start a longevity business, earn thank you checks associated with having your own business. You can get your products at the wholesale price if you so desire, or offer a one-time $25 fee. Call 866-735-2470 for more information. That's 866-735-2470. Also would like to remind you to check out our Truth Treatment products at truthtreatments.com, our retinol 5% gel made with 5% retinol, as well as a whole bunch of vitamin C, no preservatives, fragrances, fillers, waxes, water, silicone, oil, nothing your skin doesn't need or doesn't want. If you're dealing with age spots or acne blemishes or accelerated aging of the skin, nothing beats the combination of retinol with vitamin C. The two together, retinol and vitamin C, fat-soluble vitamin C. Don't fall for the cheapo stuff. Don't fall for the ascorbic acid vitamin C products. Not only is ascorbic acid unstable, it breaks down in water, but even worse, it doesn't really penetrate through the surface of the skin. So you're not going to get those anti-aging benefits that vitamin C is so well known for. Although you may get a little smoothening, if that's the right word, of the skin with ascorbic acid. You're not going to really get much collagen production, and that's really where vitamin C shines. But the combination of vitamin C and retinol is really where it's at when it comes to anti-aging, when it comes to healing the skin, when it comes to reversing the aging process, and that's why all our Truth Treatment products are packed with vitamin C, fat-soluble vitamin C, as well as 5% retinol in our Truth Retinol 5% gel. Find out all about them at truthtreatments.com, truthtreatments.com. Okay, welcome back to The Bright Side, friends. We've been talking about chronic fatigue, the adrenal glands, the two little triangular pieces of tissue that sit on top sit on top of the kidneys that regulate salt, regulate electrolytes, produce all kinds of hormones. It's really quite amazing what these adrenal glands do. Think about it. These two little pieces of tissue, they weigh a couple of, maybe 4 grams, as much or less than a couple of pennies, but yet they produce cortisol and adrenaline and estrogen and testosterone and pregnenolone and DHEA. They're just hormone powerhouses, these two little structures, and they're arguably, aside from the heart and brain, the most important structures in the body. And they're tiny little things. They're responsible for the stress response. When we're under chronic stress, they burn out and get fatigued. This can lead to problems with the thyroid and chronic fatigue and adrenal fatigue and hypothyroidism. These are all intimately connected, and in a lot of ways, a poorly functioning thyroid and burnout at the adrenal gland level is indistinguishable. If you're always tired, if you're suffering from depression, brain fog that won't go away, if you're dealing with chronic diseases, if you're always getting sick, if you've got a poor libido, low sex drive, if you've got dry skin, cold, clammy hands and feet, your fingers and toes, all of these can be related to long-term stressors associated with what I call the adrenal-thyroid axis, the connection between the adrenal glands and the thyroid. Under conditions of stress, under conditions of emergency, I should say, the adrenal glands will secrete hormones. First, they'll secrete adrenaline. And adrenaline gives you super strength. There's all these myths about grandmothers lifting a car off of a child, being able to lift a heavy object to get a child out from underneath it. That super strength is the bodily response to adrenaline. And adrenaline gives you a quick action. Then the adrenal glands will secrete cortisol, more long-term kinds of stress responses. The system works great when you have quick emergencies. And for thousands of years, for hundreds of thousands of years, the only emergencies the human body had to endure were running from wild animals and starvation. Over the last 5 or 6, maybe 10,000 years, emergencies became more long-lasting. They were less about physical survival and more about anticipation, more about worry, more about our imagination. This condition has become increasingly more dramatic over the last 1 or perhaps 2,000 years, which is a mere blip in terms of historical and evolutionary time, to the point today where many of us are living under chronic, long-term stress conditions, never-ending stress conditions. And when this happens, when our stress management system, our adrenal glands are chronically activated, and then they're burdened by malnourishment, which is also an epidemic, malnourishment, whether it's from malabsorption or whether it's from eating processed foods, and then dysglycemia, messed up gut bacteria. 2 very important health suppressant effects occur. First of all, the adrenal glands will become fatigued. They're not going to function as they should. They're going to become less sensitive to signals coming from the brain. They're going to run out of resources. They're important for the stress response, and this can lead to the whole syndrome, which is called chronic fatigue syndrome, or adrenal fatigue syndrome, I should say. Tiredness, feeling irritable, depressed. Chronic fatigue can occur. They call that chronic fatigue syndrome. According to the National Academy of Medicine, there's 2.5 million Americans who suffer from chronic fatigue syndrome. They used to tell you it was psychosomatic, that it was all in your head. And then a couple years ago, there was a huge study that was done. 9,000 articles were researched. It was a meta-study, a study of other studies, a meta-study of 9,000 articles that showed, quote, unspecified biological causes were responsible for this phenomenon known as chronic fatigue syndrome, and no longer did they think it was all in your head. They said, well, there's a biological reason, but we just can't figure out what it is. Well, guess what? It's in the adrenal glands and the adrenal thyroid axis. The second thing that happens under conditions of chronic stress is the thyroid will start to become suppressed. And that's because of this opposing relationship between cortisol and thyroid hormone. The body is always looking for balance. One of the responses to excessive adrenal activity, excessive secretion of cortisol, is a compensation, a compensatory slowdown in thyroid functioning. So the adrenal glands are causing the body to get real hyped up and causing blood pressure to go up and causing us to be real jittery and insomnia and have anxiety, heart palpitations perhaps. And then in compensation, the thyroid will kind of slow down to balance things out. And then you start to get into hypothyroidism, which is not really a disease, it's not really an illness, as much as it is a compensatory reaction. It Yeah, there's other reasons for hypothyroidism, but in large part, it's a compensation to adrenal excessive activity and so-called adrenal burnout. All right, we'll finish up when we come back from our break. 844-236-6010 is our number. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back right after this. Okay, we are back on The Bright Side. I am Pharmacist Ben. Thanks for joining us. 844-236-6010 is our number. Got lines open for you if you have questions about the adrenal glands, thyroid functioning, hypothyroidism, if you're on Synthroid or levothyroxine, the generic form of Synthroid, and millions of prescriptions a year are dispensed for thyroid hormone, synthetic thyroid hormone, or Armour thyroid for that matter. If you have questions about the thyroid or adrenal glands, chronic fatigue syndrome, anything we're speaking about here today, if you have a comment or success story you'd like to share, 844-236-6010 is our number today and every day on The Bright Side. We're on the air Monday through Friday, 8 to 9 Pacific, and 10 to 11 Central Time, and 24/7 on the archive pages at benfuchsarchives.com and brightsideben.com. You've got a search engine up for you to review programs if you miss a program or want to direct one of your friends, loved ones, customers, clients to specific subjects. benfuchsarchives.com and brightsideben.com have search engines. We also have the longevity products up at brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, and criticalhealthnews.com. You can also sign up to join the Brightside Ben team off the websites, brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, and criticalhealthnews.com. Okay, so adrenals and the thyroid, the adrenal thyroid axis. Millions of Americans are dealing with both adrenal fatigue issues. It's estimated that some 80% of Americans have some degree of adrenal fatigue issues. This can ultimately cause problems with the thyroid gland. A typical response if you're dealing with fatigue or irritability or any of these feelings that are associated with adrenal burnout, a typical response is to go to Starbucks, get yourself some caffeine, get some coffee. Problem is, caffeine can make things worse. Caffeine is like a form of cortisol. It's an artificial form of cortisol, artificial form of stress hormone. And the buzz that you get from caffeine is very similar to the buzz that you get from cortisol. That's why you don't want to drink coffee or caffeine-containing drinks too late in the day, because you're going to have a problem sleeping. If you're tired but you can't fall asleep, rest assured you're dealing with a cortisol issue, or perhaps a fake cortisol issue, like a caffeine issue. So drinking caffeine, which is a typical response to fatigue, can make the problems worse if you're dealing with an adrenal issue. It puts an added burden on the adrenal glands. It kind of forces the adrenal glands to work even harder. And so our main strategies for dealing with adrenal fatigue can lead to an exacerbation of the problem, more adrenal burnout, a vicious downward spiral where stresses and nutritional deficiencies and low blood sugar lead to adrenal fatigue issues, lead to caffeine ingestion, lead to more adrenal fatigue issues, and down the rabbit hole we go. And then the second problem is, under conditions of chronic stress, under conditions of long-term adrenal activity, under conditions of adrenal burnout, the thyroid is going to be suppressed because of this opposing relationship between elevated cortisol and thyroid hormone activity, because the body's always looking for balance. One of the responses to the excessive adrenal activity is going to be a compensation, a compensatory slowdown in thyroid functioning. And so in this way, adrenal dysfunction can ultimately be one of the causes of hypothyroidism. And it's difficult to distinguish the symptoms of adrenal fatigue from hypothyroidism, from a symptomatic perspective anyway. These two pathologies are very much the same thing. And this is why the third point on our triangle of disease is the adrenal thyroid axis. The two go together. And it's why treating the adrenal glands by calming the body down, by using our brain, by using visualization and cognitive techniques, by using muscle relaxation techniques, by using your deep breathing techniques, yoga, meditation, and of course adrenal nutrition, zinc, super important for the adrenal glands. Zinc deficiency is very common. Vitamin C, super important for the adrenal glands. Vitamin C deficiency is common. Vitamin B5, the whole B complex is important, but especially pantothenic acid, my favorite of the B vitamins because it's got so many roles to play in skin health. You don't hear a lot about pantothenic acid, vitamin B5. That's because most foods have a little bit of B5 in it, and full-blown vitamin B5 deficiency doesn't really occur. Pantothenic acid means everywhere. Pan comes from the Greek or the Latin, I think. I don't remember if it's Greek or Latin. It means everywhere. And pantothenic acid, vitamin B5, is found in a lot of foods. So you don't hear a lot about deficiencies in B5, but you need a bunch of it if you're dealing with adrenal issues. I first discovered the power of vitamin B5 for dealing with oily skin and acne. As it turns out, as we'll talk about here in a minute, oily skin is one of the signs that your adrenal glands are working overtime. Oily skin is one of the signs of cortisol. So if you're one of those folks who's dealing with oily skin all the time, you've probably got an adrenal issue, and vitamin B5 can be very helpful. You do have to take a lot of it, I will say, maybe 2-3 grams of vitamin B5. I've recommended as much as 5 or 6 grams a day of vitamin B5 if you are going to dose with vitamin B5 for your adrenal glands. And for adrenal hormones, by the way, if you're dealing with low estrogen or low testosterone or low DHEA, that's another reason to dose with vitamin B5. If you're dealing with oily skin or adrenal fatigue issues, high doses of vitamin B5 can be helpful, but always, always, always remember, if you are going to take high doses of one B vitamin, you have to make sure you're using your Beyond Tangy Tangerine, because you don't want to just take one B vitamin. You always want the entire complex. If you're going to take high doses of B5 or high doses of niacin, for example, always make sure you take it with the entire B complex. Iodine is another very important nutrient for the adrenal glands. Magnesium is important for the adrenal glands. Anything you can do to stabilize your sugar is going to be important for the adrenal glands. So if you're dealing with hypothyroidism, these are all strategies that you want to employ. Focus on the adrenal glands if you're dealing with hypothyroidism. Adrenal fatigue and hypothyroidism are in many ways similar. There are some distinctions, however, between the two. For one thing, both hypothyroid patients and adrenal fatigue patients are going to suffer from weight gain issues, but over time, adrenal burnout will cause patients to lose weight. And as the problem persists, as the adrenal gland issues persist, it's not unusual for folks who are dealing with chronic adrenal problems to have a hard time gaining weight. They will present as being super skinny. They'll be really kind of fast moving, and they'll have a hard time gaining weight. In Indian or Ayurvedic medicine, they say they're Vata. If you know anything about Ayurvedic people, Ayurvedic medicine, I should say, Vata patients tend to be really fast-moving patients. They'll have problems gaining weight, and they'll also have adrenal fatigue issues. Another difference between adrenal fatigue and hypothyroidism is that when you have adrenal problems, this is going to cause your body temperature to fluctuate from high to low and from low to high. And if you're hypothyroid, you're pretty much just going to have a low body temperature. Adrenal fatigue will make it difficult to fall asleep. Hypothyroid patients, not so much. In fact, hypothyroid patients may sleep too much. Adrenal stress may cause heart palpitations. This doesn't tend to occur with hypothyroidism. Adrenal patients will crave sweet and salty foods. Hypothyroid patients will tend more towards fatty foods. Depression is more of the result of hypothyroidism. It can sometimes occur if you're dealing with adrenal burnout, but if you have full-blown depression, that's usually an issue, more of a thyroid issue than an adrenal issue. Hair loss is more common with thyroid issues than with adrenal issues. Adrenal patients will have more oily skin. Hypothyroid patients will tend to have drier skin. Hypothyroid patients may have ashy skin. Ashy skin is when dead skin cells accumulate on the surface due to a suppression in skin enzyme activity that follows hypothyroidism. This is where alpha hydroxy acids, particularly lactic acid and glycolic acid, apply topically, can be really helpful if you're dealing with ashy skin or dead skin cells that don't seem to come off. Get yourself on a good alpha hydroxy acid toner, or even something like apple cider vinegar or red wine can help improve ashy skin condition. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll return right after this. Don't go away. Okay, we are back on The Bright Side. 844-236-6010 is our number. Got lines open for you, and we will get your calls here in just a moment. A couple interesting stories I want to read about. Did you guys hear about this new... the new blood pressure standard? 130 is the new 140. It used to be 140, where you had high blood pressure and you would get drugged, dosed. And by the way, high blood pressure medication is among the most deadly and toxic of all meds, the beta blockers and calcium channel blockers in particular. They work by blocking neural activity to the circulatory system. Dumb medical strategy. In a whole long laundry list of stupid medical strategies. It's near the top. To poison the heart and to poison the circulatory system to lower the blood pressure. Now, according to the American Heart Association and the American College of Cardiology, high blood pressure is now going to be defined as 130 over 180 instead of 140 over 90. That now means that nearly 50% of Americans are going to be hypertensive. A boondoggle for drug companies, of course, who can now sell poison medication to more and more people. It used to be 32% of adults, 1 out of 3 had hypertension. Now 46% of adults are going to be hypertensive. God, what is going on, people? Please do not let them poison your body if you have a blood pressure of 140 over 90. It's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Hypertension is a classic sign of an activated stress response. Calm the body down. Even according to WebMD, where's this article from WebMD? Even according to WebMD from a couple of years ago, and I can't seem to find this right now, expert panel, this is an article that was published in the Journal of the American Medical Association in 2013 and posted on WebMD. Recommendations based on clinical evidence show that stricter guidelines provide no additional benefits to patients. That's according to Dr. Paul James, head of the Department of Family Medicine at the University of Iowa Carver College of Medicine. Quote, "We really couldn't see additional benefits by driving blood pressure lower than 150 in people over 60 years of age. It was very clear that 150 was the best number, and they want to dose you with poison." And I am not using that word poetically. I mean literally poison if your blood pressure is 130 now. Don't let them do it to you, people. Do not let your cardiologist or doctor poison you because you have a blood pressure of 130 over 90, even though standards of care mandate that they have to. We got this crazy, crazy, crazy way of treating the body. All right, 844-236-6010 is our number. Let's hit the phones and welcome Michael. I think it's Michael. Is it Michael from Texas? How you doing, Mike? Or is it Michelle? I can't tell you. Michael?
Michael, good morning, Ben.
Good morning, Michael. How you doing, buddy?
I'm well, thank you. Not as well as I'd like to be, otherwise I probably wouldn't be calling. But
I get that.
I wanted to thank you for your work and your generous spirit and the patience you exhibit with
Michael. But Michael, you're cutting out, bro. Can you maybe walk to a different area, or I don't know if it's your phone. I'm only hearing a little bit of what you're saying.
My apologies. Can you hear me any better?
No. This is terrible. Tell you what, call right back. I'm going to let you go. Call right back, and I'll put you right up. I'm going to take another call and get you right up, okay? Apologize. Just having a hard time hearing.
I'll call right back.
Call right back. Okay, thank you. Meantime, let's go to Shauna in Idaho. Good morning, Shauna.
Good morning, Ben.
Hey.
I have a question. My mother had pneumonia. They put her on antibiotics, and they said to take probiotics at the same time because it takes up space while they're good. And I'm going, I don't understand that.
They want you to take probiotics and antibiotics at the same time?
Yeah, they said.
Well, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, they said it takes up the space while the good is trying to get grown back. But I'm like, but you're taking antibiotics and killing everything.
No, that doesn't make sense at all. You want to take them together in the sense that, you know, when you're on a round of antibiotics, you want to make sure you're doing probiotics, but not at the same time. Maybe wait.
That's what I thought. So like 2 hours after, or how?
There's no real way to know, to tell you the truth. But yeah, 3 hours, 2, 3, 4 hours kind of thing.
Okay,
take it on an empty stomach.
Okay, she said, no, the pharmacist said to take it together. And my other real quick question is my brother has been getting blood clots, and he's been in the hospital, and he had a stroke, but now his feet are all, the toes on one foot are all black and blue, and they said they might amputate.
That's terrible. Is he diabetic?
I know he's got to change his diet. I don't know. I need to check into all that. But I'm wondering if there's anything he can soak his feet in.
Well, no. There's things he could do to improve circulation. He's not circulating. The blood is not moving around his body. It's not getting to his extremities. You got to improve the circulation. Get him on a rebounder. Have him exercising. Laying off the sugar. I mean, it's not an option at this point. If they're talking amputating the feet or the toes, or he doesn't have an option. He's got to go immediately on a ketogenic diet, in my opinion. Have him use the sweeties, fiber with meals, drinking lots of water, and the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. You might want to make sure that he's using things like vitamin E, which can help improve blood flow, omega-3 fatty acids. He'll get that in his Ultimate EFA and Ultimate EFA Plus. Also, the Fuchs Z can help as well. Treat him like a diabetic. He needs to lose weight. I'm sure he's overweight if he's got this kind of problem.
He isn't. He's always been riding his bike. He got prostate cancer, but then I'm sure it's something in his diet.
It's got to be.
But then he's in the hospital, not letting him even get up, and I'm like,
well,
dude, you got to do something for these feet.
Yeah, he's got to move his body around. Oxygen is also a great blood thinner. The blood will clot under conditions of hypoxia, low blood oxygen, and the blood will also clot under conditions of leaky gut when food toxins get into the system. At this point, he's probably hypothyroid. He's probably got a lot of problems going on. But you got to start where you can start. What's that?
Lung cancer, stage 4. Yeah, he's got a lot of.
Oh, you didn't tell me that. Oh, yeah, he's deteriorating very quickly. I know he doesn't have time to fool around here. Ketogenic diet immediately, and he probably wants somebody to keep track of everything he's doing. How old is he?
60.
Okay, well, he's been mucking up the works now for 6 decades, and it sounds like pretty significantly. 60 is young, you guys. Sean, 60 is young. You got another 40 years, 50 years potentially at the age of 60. To be deteriorating that significantly at the age of 60 means that's a lot of mucking up the works. Was he a smoker?
No, he isn't.
No?
He's CPA,
something's going on.
But yeah,
something's going on dramatically in there. Go ketogenic diet, calorie restriction, chicken soup, bone soup. But at this point, he's got to take some serious measures, and I would say he'd need somebody who can guide him through the process. I'd have him either find a naturopath, or if he wants to call me, I'm happy to help him. But he needs a lot more than just the Beyond Tangy Tangerine at this point. There's a lot of stuff he needs, and it's much more than we can talk about on this program. But if he wants to give me a call or send an email, ben@ksco.com, I'm happy to help him out. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. God bless you, Shauna. Good luck. All right, let's go back to Michael in Texas. Let's see if we get a better connection. Michael.
Can you hear me?
No, man. You're just cutting out real bad. Let's try it. What do you got going on? Michael? Michael?
Can you hear me, Ben?
No, let's try, Michael. How can I help you before we lose you? You may just bail out here on us.
Can you hear me okay, Ben?
Yes. What's going on, Michael?
All right, my apologies for all that. Just wanted to thank you for your work and for your patience.
Michael, I hate to do this to you, man. You have just a terrible connection, and I cannot make out what you're saying, bro. You're welcome to try back. I just can't understand what you're saying, sir, and I really apologize. It sounds like you want to talk to us. We're going to take a break. Try one more time, Michael. I'm going to let you go. Try one more time. I apologize. All right. I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. You're listening to The Bright Side on the Genesis Communication Network. We will return with more good health information and your phone calls right after this. Okay, we are back on The Bright Side. Pharmacist Ben here, 844-236-6010. Let's go to Michael again, a different Michael here from Washington. Michael. Good morning, Michael. How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good, Ben. Real quickly, I'm on the Essential 90s for years, gluten-free, etc.
Nice.
I've got a healthy lifestyle, but recently I got extreme pain in my glands underneath my chin.
Ooh.
And going up my
salivary
jaw
glands?
and into my head. So I went to the doctor, and he referred me to a throat doctor, and they diagnosed me with salivary gland disease.
Ooh.
And he checked it out. He says the stone is huge, and he says he's recommending that I have surgery.
Now, hang on a quick second, Michael. Just a quick second. He said salivary gland disease, and it's a salivary stone?
It's got a stone, yeah.
Okay, now why does he...
has the stone.
Why did he say it was diseased? The stone is more about the saliva than it is about the gland. Did he notice it?
It's a technical SI. It's diagnosed as I forget the name of it.
Okay, but
he says that it can get infected, and he's recommending that he can't get to it, by hand in the office, or whatever. He's recommending, taking the whole gland out.
The whole salivary gland out?
My question is, would you have this? Would you have this surgery
Hell
done?
No. Hell no, I wouldn't. Not unless they have like some kind of disease going on in their cancer or something. Did he say, when you say SI, are you saying, was it a salivary calculi? Is that the term he used?
I'm sorry. It's a it begins SI. It's a real long SI.
I'm not sure what the SI is. And the salivary gland stones are just stones. They're not a gland issue. They're caused by sticky, gooky stuff in the liquid part of your body. In this case, the saliva.
Yeah, the stone is in my gland underneath, in the back of my mouth.
And he's saying he can't get to it. He can't get to it. He's telling you he can't get to it. He can't get to the stone, is what he's saying.
He can get to it, but the stone is too big to remove.
That could be excruciating.
In the office, so he wants to have surgery on me, and I want to know: is there anything naturally I can do to reverse this and avoid the surgery?
Are you in a lot of pain?
Well, that's interesting because from day one, even before I saw my doctor and saw the throat doctor, I began my regimen of trying to with overdoses of silver saw, and so it now, as of doing it every day, the pain has subsided.
Okay.
But I still have problems swallowing.
Oh my gosh, Mike.
Yeah.
Try a couple things here. First of all, if you suck on something tart, like a lemon.
I did that.
Did it help?
Well, I don't know. The pain has lessened, but
keep doing it. Keep sucking on lemons. Drink lots and lots of water. When you suck on lemons, you got to make sure you keep your teeth clean, though, because the acid can kind of mess up the enamel. But yeah, sucking on something tart may help, and then drinking lots of water can help as well. I'd be concerned why you're forming stones. I don't know the situation, so I can't tell you whether you should have the surgery or not, but I would sure be trying alternatives. And if you're noticing that things like sucking on lemons is helping you, is reducing the pain, that might be all you need. And I would continue doing that. You want to be very, 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 very respectful of the surgical procedure, and don't do it unless it's absolutely necessary. If you're in miserable pain, or there's a problem with your tongue or something like that, then you're going to, or if there's swelling, then you may need some surgery. But in the meantime, I would be doing all the other strategies, drinking lots of water, and then also sucking on the lemons. Are you on any medication by any chance?
No, I'm on no medications,
and you're healthy.
The only medication is the antibiotic Silversol. But is there any nutrition I can take? Any vitamins or minerals that I can take?
Vitamin E. Here's a couple ideas. Niacin. You want to open up the blood vessels, basically, and the fluid vessels in your body, the glandular vessels. Vitamin E perhaps might help. Omega-3 fatty acids might help. Magnesium, and then also vitamin K. If it's a calcium stone, vitamin K can help, and then your ultimate niacin, and then also the Fuchs Z. These are all in the interest of keeping things the fluid parts of your body moving along, and keeping the calcium out of the tissue, keeping excess calcium out of the saliva. You may also, if you're running acidic, that may cause a problem with too much calcium in the saliva, and if that is the case, you would have some symptoms, but you may also want to try things like slow, deep breathing techniques, things that eliminating sugar, eliminating any digestive toxins. All of these can increase the acid level of your blood, make your blood more acidic, and then calcium will leach out into the fluids in order to neutralize the low pH. If that's the case, then relaxing the body and eliminating toxicity can be beneficial as well. You may also want to try apple cider vinegar. That might be beneficial for you too. But if it is,
how long should I do this naturally? How long should I go on this naturally?
That's a great question. What you want to do is you want to see that the problem is getting better. If you notice that you're plateauing, it's not getting better, or if it's getting worse, then you may have to go into something more mechanical, like a surgical procedure. Although I would I would do everything I could do in terms of nutrition and more water and sucking on lemons and such before I did that.
He says the doctor says that it. I said, well, can I get rid of this naturally? And he said he didn't think so. And he says that it's going to ultimately get infected.
Yeah, that could happen. That's why I say you want to trend in the right direction. If you're not trending in the right direction, then you want to have a medical procedure done. You want to wait to the very end, though. If you notice you're plateauing or not getting better, that's when you want to have a medical procedure. But if you are getting better, and it sounds like you are, you may want to continue. Okay. And by the way, the apple cider vinegar you can also apply topically too, in addition to helping alkalinize.
Is there anything else I can apply topically?
Castor oil.
Besides
castor oil might help. That's an old Edgar Casey solution. Also, an interesting natural remedy for calcium is borax. You can get borax at a drugstore, B-O-R-A-X. Put a little bit of borax into some water and kind of sip on it throughout the day. That might help you as well.
Can I rub it on there?
I don't know if it'll help if you rub it. You might try it. And then, but the magnesium and the vitamin K, that's very helpful for calcium, any kind of calcium stones. Epsom salt too.
Now,
you can use Epsom. You can use Epsom salts topically. Go ahead.
The stone, Ben, is it going to, all this natural stuff, is it going to dissolve the stone, or is it going to free the stone up?
No. Well, both. It'll dissolve it and free it. Both. Okay? So there's a whole bunch of strategies there for you. But if it does get worse, then you probably want to have a medical procedure done. All right. Thank you so much for your call. Appreciate it. Hope we helped you out, Michael. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Good to talk to you. All right. Let's go to Ron in Minneapolis. Good morning, Ron. Welcome to the bright side. Hello, Ron. Going once. Going twice. Ron? Okay, I'm going to let you go, Ron. I'm not sure what that's about, but let's go on to John in Kansas. Good morning, John.
Good morning.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, I'm recovering from the foot surgery, and you suggested doing a detox cleanse. And I was wondering about when I take this Fluorovive or do any detox with bentonite, zeolite, or charcoal, how can I take my supplements, in particular time-release supplements? Take them away
from the charcoal and the zeolite. All those things will pull the supplements out as well as other things. Time release is going to be a little bit tricky. Depending on how long the time release is, because if you do take the say you're using charcoal and you are on a time release niacin, for example, as that niacin is being released, the charcoal is going to pull out the niacin. So you do have to be a little bit more respectful with the timed release. So maybe give it, depending on how long the time release is set up for, give it 6 hours or so between your time release dose and your charcoal dose. But that's a very good point. Bentonite clay, zeolite, charcoal, they're detox substances, but they will pull nutritional supplements out of your system, as well as they'll pull toxins out of your system. So you want to do them separately. That's a very good question. Does that help you? You have anything else?
The BTT 2.0 in the on-the-go pack is time release.
Say that one more time. The BTT is time release?
Yeah, the 2.0 tablets in the on-the-go pack.
Oh, the tablets. Yeah. Yeah, you're going to have to keep those separate from the charcoal and the zeolite. Maybe do the BTT in the morning, and then do your charcoal or zeolite or algae or whatever you're doing to cleanse the blood, to detox the system many hours after you do the BTT, 6-7 hours after you do the BTT. Okay? All right. Thanks, John. Anything else?
You mentioned vitamin E, and I was confused because there's D-alpha, DL-alpha, and mixed tocopherols. And
go with the mixed tocopherols, and if you could find mixed tocotrienols, that's even better. Mixed tocopherols and mixed tocotrienols. Got to go, buddy. Thank you so much for your call. Appreciate it. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Thanks for listening to The Bright Side, friends. Have a wonderful, beautiful, awesome, spectacular day. We'll talk to y'all later, folks. Bye for now.